The good and bad of the keto diet. Should you do it? Oh man, the keto diet. We keep coming to that, right? If you haven't heard about it yet, I'm sure you did, then let me enlighten you just a little bit. But before that, of course, who am I? I am Dr. Ahmet Ergin. I'm an endocrinologist, a diabetologist, a metabolism expert. I help people with insulin resistance, diabetes, and weight loss. So, this diet is a high-fat, low-protein, low-carb diet. It's taken the world by storm. It's a huge economy now. I mean, literally, every other person on my Instagram feed is now a keto eater, or they claim so. Well, if everybody was a keto eater and it was so great, there will be no diabetes and everybody would be freaking healthy, right? Well, that's not the case. Let's talk about that. So what are the long-term effects of this diet, right? Is it all good? Are there some bad consequences too? Well, I did my research, or should I say PubMed did. By the way, PubMed is the Google for scientific research, so if you are searching for something, go to PubMed, P-U-B-M-E-D. Now, here's what I found, with a touch of humor, of course. Yeah, the good stuff. Let's talk about this. Weight loss. Let's start with that obvious, right? A keto diet can definitely help you lose weight and fast. By cutting out carbohydrates, your body is forced to burn fat for energy instead of glucose. Simple, right? Well, that results in a state called ketosis, where your body produces ketones, which are then used as a fuel. Now, what about insulin resistance? For those struggling with insulin resistance or diabetes, a keto diet may be beneficial, especially in the beginning. Now, the low carbohydrate intake reduces the need for insulin and can improve your blood sugar control. Great, right? What else it does? Keto diet can reduce your inflammation. Some studies have shown that a keto diet can reduce inflammation markers in your body, potentially benefiting those with chronic inflammatory conditions. That's also great. Now, let's talk about the bad side of keto diet. So, nutrient deficiencies. Now, since a keto diet restricts many food groups, it can actually lead to nutrient deficiencies if not planned carefully. And in reality, who plans their diet very strictly? If that was the case, we wouldn't have diabetes or insulin resistance to begin with if we were so obsessed with our diet, right? Now, for example, cutting out fruits and whole grains means missing out on essential vitamins and minerals. You also get the keto flu. When you first start a keto diet, your body may go through a transition phase, which may last 3 days to 3 weeks, where it adapts to using fat as a primary source of energy. This can cause symptoms like headaches, fatigue, irritability. So if you are working and you're busy, you don't want to get fired because you're irritable. Those are the things you have to also consider when you're in that keto flu. Unless you want to take some 2 weeks off and you want to take that time for being in a flu kind of state, then you're good. Except that flu is not contagious, so you're good. Now, what is the third problem with the keto diet? It is very hard to sustain. So let's be real here. It's a diet that restricts carbs. Can be pretty difficult. Why? Because more than 50% of what humans typically eat have some sort of carb. And it's our primary source of energy, the glucose. Our glucose runs on, our brains runs on glucose. What's the evidence? Well, if your sugar goes down to 50 or 40, depending on, your history, sometimes down to 30 or 20, you will be disabled. Well, let's say you're on a keto diet, you take some insulin, your blood sugar goes down to 30. Can you survive that? I don't think so. So basically, you need glucose, and your body has to run glucose. Yes, your body turns everything into glucose, from fat to protein, etc. You will still maintain that glucose. But if you are having healthy carbs that will not spike your blood sugar, that is still not unhealthy for you. If you're already insulin resistant, anything can spike your blood sugar or your insulin. So for super insulin resistant people, starting a keto diet in the beginning for a while is a great idea, actually. So what else can happen? You can have a lot of cravings. People are going to be munching on the foods that you loved at one point in time, and you will be driving yourself nuts. Now, here is a very nice study from Yale. Most of you know the Yale University, right? Published in January 20 and in the issue of Nature and Metabolism. Now, these smarty pants researchers discovered something intriguing about the keto diet. It turns out, now that's very important, it turns out that this diet messes with body's usual fat-burning routine and it tricks it into munching on the good stuff. Now, what do I mean by that? You see, when the diet's low-carb content reduces the glucose levels, right? It's like a fake out of a starvation situation. The body shifts gears and starts breaking the fats, producing these fancy chemicals called ketone bodies to power itself up. Now, one thing that I forgot to mention about the keto diet, your mouth will stink from keto breath. And you need to stay away from like at least 3 to 4 feet from people if you're on keto diet, if you want to have a meaningful conversation. Now, so that they don't run away, right? So when that happens, though, when the keto diet kicks in and you're in a ketosis mode, these super cool cells called gamma delta T cells go into superhero mode, fighting off diabetes, inflammation, making your metabolism go whoosh. Even mice showed lower blood glucose levels, less inflammation after a week on this diet. But hold on, there is a plot. There is a plot twist. If the mice that they studied stayed on this high-fat, low-carb party for too long, things went haywire. Now, what happened was they started storing fat instead of burning it, which led to diabetes and obesity anyway. So, talk about a total bummer, right? I explained about this before. When you're on the keto diet, that's great. Initially, all these good things happen, but later, your body turns into a carb-resistant state where you almost become dependent on this diet, where anytime you eat any little carb will blow your blood sugar up like a nightmare, and you will not be able to tolerate any carb whatsoever. It's like going on steroids full-time for the rest of your life. You come off the steroids, you're going to feel miserable. Same thing applies here. So what happens though, those protective gamma cells also, that were the heroes like I told you about, like how it helps your body to clean up and all that, they vanished into thin air when the mice stuffed themselves silly with all the keto diet. Now here's the catch. We can't just rely on the mousy tales, right? We still need some real deal long-term studies. I hear you, some of you already typing comments, this is a rat study, we are not rats, da 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 da. Well, most of the data comes from the rats. And if the keto benefits are so real, that's great, but we need to hang tight, folks. The saga continues. So what's the verdict? Like with any diet, there are pros and cons to this diet. It may be good for some people. It is definitely good for short term. It definitely has problems with it, like including the keto flu or keto breath. It may be beneficial for some individuals, especially when you first get diagnosed with diabetes, or let's say you go out for some vacation, you eat all these carbs, you come back, you may want to go on a keto diet to kind of clean your body out. So in that way, it works out. Ultimately, it is important to listen to your body and make sure you're getting all the necessary nutrients while following any dietary plan. So if you're on a keto diet, you have to be very careful about keeping your electrolytes and your vitamins together. So we have diavitamin, which will provide you all the vitamins you need, but you may need extra potassium as well, because that's what happens when you're on keto diet. But remember, just have a little sense of humor about all of this. After all, we are all human, and we can't resist a good slice of pizza every now and then. And just to make sure that if you're on keto diet, it's going to have to be keto friendly, because as you know, when you're in a long-term keto diet, that pizza that wouldn't spike your blood sugar as much now will do that. So if you're thinking about trying out the keto diet, I would say do a lot of research and consult with your doctor before you jump into it. Don't forget to laugh along the way, because life is too short, my friend. Don't take everything so seriously, except for maybe your carb intake. So stay healthy, friends. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Remember to share and like this video. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this channel so far, and I hope you subscribed already. If you didn't, do it. And if you did, watch this video right there. I think that will help you too.